Everything you're about to hear is for entertainment purposes only. Listen, have some fun, but don't ever do, believe, or promote anything they say. They're idiots.
Guys, hold up. You should know, this ain't for everybody. Welcome to Savagely Loud. What's happening, people? Guys, welcome back to the show for the people that understand that facts divided by feelings equals failure. I'm Cliff, I'm your host, and today we're going to get into a really necessary topic because I've got my buddy Dave Anderson here. I almost called you Dave Smith for some reason, and I was like, that dude's way the fuck out of my league. I was just listening to Part of the Problem the other day, or earlier. Let's just restart this whole fucking thing. Okay, we're actually gonna restart this thing. Okay, so I'll cut this all out. All right, 3, 2.
Everything you're about to hear is for entertainment purposes only. Listen, have some fun, but don't ever do, believe, or promote anything they say. They're idiots.
Guys, hold up. You should know, this ain't for everybody. Welcome to Savagely Loud. What's happening, people? Guys, welcome back to the show for the people that understand that facts divided by feelings equals failure. I'm Cliff, I'm your host, and I'm joined today again with...
We should just roll with it. And take 3.
Everything you're about to hear is for entertainment purposes only. Listen, have some fun, but don't ever do, believe, or promote anything they say. They're idiots.
Guys, hold up. You should know, this ain't for everybody. Welcome to Savagely Loud. What's happening, people? Guys, welcome back to the show for the people that understand that facts divided by feelings equals failure. I'm Cliff, I'm your host, and I'm joined by my buddy Dave Anderson again today, and we're going to get into a really necessary topic, but before we get there, you know the drill. If you want to help me out, get these words out, get these truths out, you can follow me on Instagram at Savagely Loud. That is where I'm most active. On that page, you're going to find 2 links. One of those links is to the Savagely Loud podcast page. If you could please follow me there too, it'd be greatly appreciated, as that will inevitably be my backup page. The other link you're going to find is a simple link tree. Anywhere you want to hear my bullshit or see my rants, you can find them there, easy peasy. Outside of that, Facebook, X, and Rumble at Savagely Loud, YouTube at Savagely Loud Podcast, and you can email me in at savagelyloud@gmail.com, and I strongly suggest you do because my DMs are always full. Last but not least, like, comment, and share the material. And don't forget to rate and review the shows, guys. It really does help us out. It helps us get into the algorithm and get into all the ear balls and eyeballs and all these balls of everybody out here that you know needs to hear these words. So, guys, that being said, on this wonderful third take in trying to start this show...
You know what? If you didn't say it, I was going to fucking say it.
On this wonderful third take of trying to start this show. What's going on, Dave? How are we doing today?
Well, you know, I'm living life day by day, minute by minute, second by second, man. That's all you can do nowadays.
Yeah, sometimes that's all you can do. Let everybody know where they can find you at.
All right, folks, you can find me over at The Hammer Drops. I'm heavily active on Instagram and on Facebook. Also on TikTok, but because they want to continue to shadow ban me there, I will be pulling away from TikTok. So eventually here within the next week or so, I'm shutting that one down. So I'm only going to be on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. And of course, you can go see some of my great blogs that I got that I've been doing over at thehammerdrops.com. I've been taking a lot of stuff to kind of explain what's going to happen with Islam coming over and all that stuff. So go check that out. If you want to get in touch with me, do not DM me because those get filled up and I don't have my notifications on. Email me at david@thehammerdrops.com. If you have any questions, whatever you want, email me there to get in touch with me. And don't forget to like, follow, share, leave a review because it does help get and break those algorithms. And of course, I can't forget, as of next month, January 2026, you can find me here as a co-host full time.
All the fucking time, baby. All the fucking time. You know, I like that you mentioned your blogs because I was just reading the one the other day about the negative effects of purple lace on the male taint. And I felt that.
I don't have that one on the blog, but I could do one if you'd like.
Oh, shit. Yeah, that's good stuff. So, guys, I want to talk about, like I said, one of the most important, if not the most important thing we can talk about right now, and that is influence and the internet, because the internet has taken over the world. And that's the reason that anything that's going well, you know, like actually, I won't even say going well. I'll say not being too far gone, allowed to be too far lost. Anything the thing that is stopping things from going too far is the internet. And it's the fact that we can transition information from person to person in the blink of an eye right now. Now, when you look at the internet, there is also a lot of fucking unnecessary bullshit. There's a lot of entertaining bullshit. There's a lot of everything you could imagine all over the fucking internet. And the way I look at it is, you know, you've got your different sections, your different categories of the internet. Like I said, you've got your entertaining stuff, you know, the stuff that you watch just to, you know, get you to smile, to feel nice, or, you know, kind of disappear from the day. You've got your informational stuff like, oh, well, I went to this location, and if you ever go here, that's what you can expect. You've got your food reviews, and you've got all this other stuff. But there are two major influencers, two major categories of influence on the internet right now that I believe are, in fact, the two most important demographics of influencer on the internet as we know this world today. And that is political commentators and cultural commentators. So,
yes.
Your political commentators are everybody that you know has a following because they talk politics. They can be, you know, liberal commentators, Democrat commentators. They could be conservative, Republican. They could be libertarian, whatever that is. They have their focus, and their focus is pretty much wholly on politics. Okay. Now, the reason we need this demographic of people is because of, like what I said earlier. If anything is expected to not be allowed to slip too far out of grasp, it needs people talking about it. And the American political system is absolutely fucked 100% from front to back, top to bottom. It doesn't matter who you're talking about, they're fucked. It doesn't matter if you're talking about AOC or if you're talking about Trump. This whole fucking thing is absolutely fucked. Now, that being said, on the other side of things, the other commentator I was talking about was a cultural commentator, which is what the category that I fit in. I concentrate mostly on culture because that's just my area of focus. That's where I believe we can make the most difference. Your cultural commentators now, they're a little bit different breed. They're a little bit more fearless because, I mean, let's face it, it's easy to talk about politics. I know a lot of you guys don't want to understand that or don't want to admit that, but it's easy to talk about politics. You know, if you come out and you say some conservative shit, you're going to have half the country back you up. You know, if you come out and say some liberal shit, you're going to have the other half of the country back you up. And whichever half of the country's backing you up, the other half is coming against you. But you don't like them anyway, so fuck them and you don't mind their ridicule. Cultural commentation is a different story. Because the real cultural commentators, we're out here on a mission. We're out here to make things happen, to facilitate the growth of mankind, if not only in this country, We are out here to try to facilitate that growth by inciting conversations. And we want the conversations to happen because at the end of the day, we want everybody to coexist. Now, there are certain cultural commentators that fall all over this spectrum of feelings, right? There are cultural commentators out there that want everybody to love each other and sing kumbaya and eat each other's fucking popcorn buckets and all this other shit, take PJ parties and, take naps together. I'm not one of those. I'll be honest with you. I'm the other end of the fucking cultural commentation spectrum. I see these cultures of people, these colors of people, these creeds of people, and these religions and shit all as so fucking fucked that we have to fucking keep talking about it to force the accountability, because accountability is the only thing that swings behavior back around. And we see that in the political system because we try to hold these politicians accountable, and what happens? They slough off the accountability to somebody else. One of their subordinates gets fired, and then they just keep on doing whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, that's even if that even happens.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. I mean, I don't mean I have to interject. I mean, let's be honest. If it doesn't start with what we do, because like you said, I mean, you can have so many people talking politics. I mean, and it doesn't matter. So you talk conservative, you're gonna have a conservative following. If you're a Democrat and liberal, you're gonna have those followings, and they're gonna be pissed off in your comment section. But when we start doing stuff and we start bringing attention to what needs to be brought attention to in the culture, we get it from both ends. And I don't think people really truly understand that. I mean, and it's funny because I'll do a post and all of a sudden I'm labeled as MAGA. It's like, no, that has nothing to do with MAGA.
Right.
It has nothing to do with conservative. And then another post, well, you sound like you're liberal. It has nothing to do with that. It's to bring attention, to have these, to get you and I hate to say it like this, you motherfuckers in the comment section having those conversations with each other to get you to start talking.
Yeah. It takes somebody willing to take the fucking bullets to get people fucking talking. But people talking is the only way that this shit's ever going to get fixed. And I understand that, a lot of the political commentators that most of my friends, in fact, are political commentators, to be honest with you. I have a handful of cultural commentator friends of mine, but it's a very different proposition. Like I was saying, you're a political commentator. You're not necessarily out here to start a conversation between rivals. You're out here to bolster your side to make it look better than the other side. And that's easy. And I could fucking come on here. I don't give a shit. Bring me on any podcast you want and hit me blind with information, and I will argue for it or against it, whichever way you want. It's easy to pose an argument when you're not trying to find a solution, okay? Because the solution to the American political system is not conservatives run everything and Democrats go away. And likewise, vice versa is not the answer either. It's not the answer to have the liberals run everything and the conservatives to go away. The answer for the American political system is to burn it all the fucking way down to the ground, have a conversation between the people that did it, and understand, and have everyone else understand that is two wings of the same fucking bird. That bird has one brain with two wings, and that brain functions to preserve that bird. It's going to use its wings and a lot of flapping to make that happen, okay? Cultural commentation, like you said, we get it from every direction. It's not just I come out here and I say this shit to you and then you hate me, right? Or I say this shit about you and then you hate me. No, because if I come out and I say, there's glaring issues in the black community, I've got most of the black community coming at me. I've got half of the white community coming at me. I've got the Mexican community coming at me because they associate more with black than white because they're closer in skin tone. And then I've got like the Native American coming at me because, all of us don't belong here according to them, even though they're from Siberia. And so they don't technically belong here either. But every fucking time I say anything, or any cultural commentator that's on a mission to solve problems says anything, we get it from every single fucking direction.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's always fun. Especially when we get it everywhere. It doesn't matter. Yeah. I just got to kick back and laugh about it. It's, and when I first started off doing my podcast, I was hyper focused on the political aspect of things. And you slowly start to learn, like, you can talk all you want, like you were saying about politics, and argue your side and prove the other side wrong with whatever you have. But when it comes to the cultural aspect of things, it's it's right in front of you. You can't argue it. You have to face it. You have to come to terms with it. And that's what really sets it off, I believe. And that's why I say that it starts with the cultural talk, and then we can start getting into the politics of everything. But it's got to start here.
Yeah, I think it does have to start here. But I think even cut that down even further, it needs to start in people's hearts.
Yeah,
I get it. Okay, and I'm mind you, guys, if you're a political commentator, listen to this. I'm not putting you in the bag right now. It's gonna wash out in the end. Trust me. But right now, what the world needs is not people whining about the American political system. Just what's it fixed? People have been whining about the American political system for the last 100 fucking years. If we even take, like I did a video the other day about a conversation that I was in. Let's take my lifespan alone. 43 years. For 43 years, literally hundreds of millions of people have bitched and moaned and pissed and fucking cried and whined about the American political system, and it's not any fucking better. It's just not any fucking better than it ever imagined being. It's, in fact, for all intents and purposes, it's far worse than it ever should have gotten. It's far worse than we ever should have allowed it to become. Now, that being said, as I said, I'm not putting you political commentators in the bag. The reason that it's not worse than it is because we have so many political commentators talking about it. We've got so many people putting eyes on the problems that that it's very difficult for the powers that be, being the elites and the government, to really pull any fucking strings or pull any wool over anyone's eyes without being noticed or questioned. So again, you are important political commentators. I don't think that I don't think the political system can be saved, and sometimes that bias will infect my speech and my conversation with you people, and I try to work on that. But you guys are super fucking important. Here's where I stand on, though, because we have to now touch on the cultural commentators. The cultural commentators, we're the ones that fix the people. Okay, let's say that the political commentators are the watchdogs of the politicians. Well, the cultural commentators are the watchdogs of the people. What gives politicians more power? Third world minds or first world minds? Third world minds, because
exactly.
It's really easy to rule over retards. It's really easy to rule over shitty, do nothing, go nowhere, low IQ, low vibrational pieces of shit that piss all over the fucking street. It's so much easier to rule over them because they don't ask questions and they don't fight back. First-rate minds ask questions, and they only ask those questions so long before they start fighting back, and that removes that whole safety of the lockdown power structure that our politicians here and everywhere else are actually looking to secure. If we can fix the people, we don't need to fix the politicians. If we can fix the people that the politicians prey on, that the politicians use to destroy other demographics and other fucking geographical locations, if we can fix the fucking people, we don't have to pay attention so much to politics until we get to that fucking road of where we're back here again, because, good men create easy times, and eventually easy times become hard times again. And then we have to start having these conversations again. You got something?
No, exactly. No, yeah. I was just agreeing with you, and I think once, we start with the people, like you were saying, and we don't have to worry about the politics aspects of it, because once you start working on the people, it's going to keep going. It's going to keep going. It's like a domino. And then eventually people will start getting voted in that are thinking more clearly than what they are, our current politicians are. And that once we get to that point, that's when we're not really going to have to worry about the politicians. And we just keep going with this, the cultural talk. And I think eventually that will end up fixing our problems with the politicians, in the long run. I mean, it's going to take time. It's not something that's going to happen in 2 days, a week, 2 weeks, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. It might not happen in our lifetime, but eventually, as long as we can keep this kind of conversations going, it's going to fix itself.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is that it could happen quickly because cultural commentation, I mean, especially the way I do it and the way many others do it, William and fucking Shantae, and the Frojax boys, like the way we do this is new. The way we do this is new. The Nick Fuentes is, the way we do this is new. This whole white people talking about culture, other cultures is new. This is only like almost, I mean, it's not mainstream, but it's becoming mainstream, and it's becoming that quickly. But this has only been around for a year and a half, where people were actually coming out and starting to talk about being white and how it's not wrong, So, and we've also got these people like me that I come out and I hammer on the black community because there's a lot of fucking problems in the black community that fuck this country up. If we could solve the problems in the black community, this country wouldn't be so fucked up. It just wouldn't. When we've got 6% of our people being black males that are creating 70% of our violent crimes and 50% of our murders, that's a giant fucking problem with a very small demographic of people. This shouldn't be so hard to work out. But in order to get it worked out, which we haven't done since the 1950s, we have to talk about it, and we have to talk about it in a way that's not so polite. We talked about it through the 80s and the 90s and even into the 70s. We talked about politely getting black people to reverse course on their piss poor behavior, but they didn't listen. Nobody listened. Black community, white community, brown community, yellow community, nobody fucking listened because we were too goddamn nice about it. Now we're done being nice. Now we're done being labeled, because that was the big thing was, all through the 70s and 80s and 90s and even the early 2000s, all it took to shut a white guy up or a white woman up is call him a racist. Oh, you're a fucking racist. And they'd be like, oh my God, no, I'm not. I promise, I promise I'm not a racist. I promise I'm not a racist. Oh my God, oh my God. And then they would lose sight of the topic that they were even fucking talking about. Well, now we have what I have coined the term incendiary cultural commentary. We're fucking done. We're going to come out. We're going to piss you off enough to get you to talk to us, and so that we can show you the reality of things, and then we can make you point at it, and then we can make you talk with us about what we're both pointing at. Then we can fix the problems. If we get to a point where we can solve problems, and this is working, and I'll give you data to support that. But if we can get to a point where cultural commentation, it actually gets through and starts reaching people and getting them to change their behavior, this country will swing around with no mind paid to the politicians. In fact, I'd go so far as that if we worked extra hard and got everybody in America to unfuck their own culture and unfuck their own people and unfuck their own behavior as a person, as an individual, we don't need the fucking politicians at all. And they'll come a day where they'll fuck with us, and we will let them know in the most heinous fucking ways we are done. Because we will all have then been banded together, and it will be 400 million people versus 535. It will be 400 million fucking people versus 1,000. It's going to be over fucking quicker than you know it. But we have to concentrate on unfucking the brains, perspectives, and programming that we've all received our entire lives, myself and yourself included.
Yeah, well, and that's the problem, is fixing the program that we've all had. It's just MK Ultra has been thrown out there so much. I mean, a lot of people may know about it or have heard about it, but I mean, it is essentially what is happening. You put on the TV, you're being programmed. You're going to school, you're being programmed. You talk to certain people who are already programmed, you're still being programmed. It's people have lost the sight of having a free mind, and because they want to trust what is being told to them. But we've learned over the years that we can't trust everything that is being told to us because it's being skewed all the time. It's propaganda. They want you to think a different way. They want you to think a certain way to align with them so they can keep pushing forward. And that's all this is. I mean, I know back in the 50s, people talked, like you said, people were talking quietly about the cultures and all that stuff. And it just really started to rev up now because people were afraid. And you're right. They were afraid to be called a racist. They were afraid to be called a Zionist. They were afraid of this, afraid of that. And it's people like what we're doing that we're not afraid to be called that. You know, I laugh that shit off. I couldn't tell you how many times a day that somebody calls me a racist or a Zionist or this or that, you know, because of what I post. And it's like, well, I'm none of those, but thanks. Thanks for watching.
Yeah. Well, for me, it was like I was all of those, and now I'm none of those, and you're too fucking stupid to understand either one of those. So I don't even need to answer to it. Like it is what it is. But here, you know, and like on the programming thing, it's easy. People find it easier to trust than become the victim than they do to do the fucking work to not become a victim. Most people would rather be the victim of somebody to alleviate their own accountability from not doing anything with their fucking lives. Like, I tried. Did you though? You didn't. You didn't try. You gave it one shot. They took it away and you said, fuck it, I'm done. They took it. I can't do it. It's all their fault, not mine. I guess I'm doomed, you know, and that's how people want to fucking live. But this whole situation is creating there's a rift happening on the internet. All right, real quick, to touch back on the programming thing. There's this new thing. I don't know if you've heard this, but I've rabbit holed into this several times, and it seems to be very, very true. The programming that we receive goes so deep, people don't want to believe that it'll actually go that deep. And let me give you one example of how deep it really goes. So all Christians understand that, you know, that one of the best ways to heal yourself is through prayer and fasting, right? Because that's Matthew, I believe it was Matthew 17:21 was, you know, to heal, the quickest way to heal is to prayer and fast, right? And it supposedly worked a long time. Now, just praying and fasting, that's very, very vague, and it's very open to interpretation. But the programmers of society have seemingly found danger in that, because if you look in older printed Bibles, Matthew 17:21 exists. If you look at newer printed Bibles, Matthew 17:21 is not in there. It goes from Matthew 17:20 to Matthew 17:22. Check that out. That's how deep the programming goes. That's what you guys have to wrap your mind around before we're going to pull any of this back around to get it back to good for anybody. Is you're going to have to understand you're getting fucked on every level, even in that goddamn Bible you read, because that Bible is no longer the word of God. It's the word of a publishing company and a fucking financier that supplies that publishing company with funding so that they can keep operating. Now, I'm not, before you come at me, guys, I'm not saying that the Bible ain't the word of fucking God. I'm just saying it's yeah. What do you got?
There's actually more to the Bible thing. They actually took a whole bunch of stuff out of the Bible.
Oh yeah, we know the
that they
book of
don't want you to know
Enoch
about.
and Galatians or whatever, and all this other shit.
Yeah, they took so much out. It you know, I would be asking questions. Why would you take that stuff out? What was in those things? Or actually start doing the research into that.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a rabbit hole you're going to love to go down.
Oh yeah. No, it's a very interesting thing, but I'm not here trying to attack people's faith. I'm just letting you know to what extent the programming really happens, and it goes all the way into your Bible. The one you got on your fucking nightstand is probably missing, as long as it was printed in the last couple of years, it's probably missing Matthew 17:21. But anyway, to move on to that is we've got this rift, okay? As I said earlier in the show, political commentators and cultural commentators are the two most important people on the fucking internet, because political structure of this country and the cultural structure of this country are the two most fucking vital things to get right in order for the future of the country to actually even happen, let alone be some prosperous fucking utopia. Just to get it to happen, we have to keep these two things on the rails. Now, what we're seeing, though, is we're seeing a rift grow between the political commentators and the cultural commentators. We're seeing the wall, essentially, that is put between Democrats and Republicans being placed between especially conservative commentators, because let's face it, the liberal commentators don't want to hear anything having to do with culture because they don't know anything about it. And anytime that I've ever debated a liberal anytime, doesn't matter who it was, anytime I've ever debated a liberal commentator on anything, I fucking slaughter them when it comes to culture. But so we're concentrating on the conservative end of the political commentators. Y'all are putting a fucking wall between us. And it's not good for anybody, and it's only going to make this motherfucker go down the fucking shitter faster than we ever imagined. We need each other, and that's the fact. The internet needs us. The fucking people of this country need both of us to be working together. But we're getting to a point where the cultural commentators are willing to work with the political commentators, but the conservative political commentators, like I said, especially, are becoming less and less willing to support publicly the cultural commentators. Now, this is actually taking a very odd face. You know, it's weird to look at because it's got so many different facets to it on their end. But the basics of how this works is if the rift growing between political commentators and cultural commentators is that, well, the political commentators they're not really supporting the cultural commentators like they should be. The cultural commentators are taking that as a slight. Like, dude, I've been liking your shit. I've been dropping comments and your shit to get your shit into the algorithm just to help you out. And you can't even drop a fucking like on my shit. But then you'll come into my DMs. And this is coincidentally why the other day I was called every blue check mark's fucking guilty pleasure. Because they all fill my DMs. All these blue checks fill my DMs. Like, that was fucking awesome. That was fucking awesome. Well, how about hitting the fucking heart button for me real quick? If you fucking agree with it, why are you not helping get this goddamn message out? And the reason that the conservatives, the conservative political commentators aren't doing this is because they're afraid to lose their base. Because at the end of the day, you need your audience. And they're afraid that their audience is going to call them racist, call them misogynist, call them sexist, call them some sort of ist or ism, and they don't want to touch that. And not only do they not want to touch it, they don't want to share it, they don't want to be a part of it, they don't want to publicly acknowledge, like, oh my God, what if my followers scroll onto your page and that thing that I just gave you a fucking 9-mile text message about how great it was, what if they see that my name comes up on the heart list? Dude, I'm going to lose everybody. They're going to label me. This is the fucking problem, is because the only people with the real balls on the internet right now, I'm just going to come out and say it, and you ain't going to fucking like it. The only people that have balls on the internet are cultural commentators, specifically white ones. It's way easy to be a black cultural commentator and come out and say that you fucking hate white people. Super easy. You're not even doing anything positive. You're not doing anything negative. You're just doing nothing. You're just spinning your wheels to try to fucking get some clicks and some points and some fucking views. That's it. Now, black people that are talking shit about their culture, that's a very difficult one too. They're in the fucking boat with us white boys. Oh
yeah, I've seen a few of those. Like, I think there's the one, the wolf something or other.
Yeah,
I mean,
he always wears the big fucking.
Yeah,
he's
he
awesome.
always goes off on. Yeah, I love watching his stuff. He just goes off, and he gets so much fucking hate from the black community and white people. It's like why? He's just calling it for what it is. And I've seen so many other of them. And it's nice to start seeing, some of the black people coming out and calling out their own race, on all the bullshit, because they're sick of it. Yeah, I mean, you see it more and more now, and I think it's great.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Like Westcott Laurent, or Westcott America, I think he is now. He's fucking awesome. He's a black dude that takes it to the black community, and he's fucking awesome. There's this kid, I forgot his name. I'll have to get his name, but there's this younger kid, black dude. He's coming out and he's like, man, I don't fucking hate you because you're black. I fucking hate you because you give me a bad name. This and that and the other thing. He's awesome. But there's a growing handful. There's that one girl, I want to say her name is like JC something or other. Anyway, but there's a growing demographic. That's a difficult fucking demographic to be in, being black and talking shit about your own fucking people, because your culture has become shit. When you're a white guy talking about black culture being shit, it's going to be a fucking rough go. I understand the sides of the people that are nervous about attaching to them, but you guys have to understand that we're already coming into the new era of America. We're already coming into it. You can either fucking attach yourself and get on board and help it, or you can be our next targets. I mean, that's just the plain and simple of it.
Yeah, that is. I mean, yeah. I mean, eventually that's what's going to end up happening. I mean, let's play devil's advocate here. I mean, by us showing support to these political commentators, that's making us seem like we're choosing a side. So we're going to be taking more bullets because, we like something of yours. And yet, we're willing to fucking do that. Show the love back. You get in our DMs, you get in our emails saying that you love what we're doing, to keep up the good fucking work, but yet you won't help us out by just clicking that one heart like you were saying.
Yeah.
But here we are. We click that heart. Everybody that, can see that we liked it. And we're not hiding behind DMs. We're, right here in fucking real time hitting it, and everybody can see it. Then they come over to our page and see what we have to talk about. Now we're taking bullets from them.
Yep.
So it's like, if show us some fucking love, or like you said, you can become the next target. I don't fucking care.
The way I operate is I blind like my friend's shit. I don't even have to agree with it. I'm going to like it, and I'm probably going to drop a comment so that you can so that it pushes you into the fucking algorithm. That's what I do for my friends. I don't have to fucking agree with you to be my friend, but I want you to grow, even though if I disagree with you. But now when it comes to me, like I couldn't tell you how many fucking times I have to deal with people fucking telling, like, my fans coming and be like, dude, you support that faggot? You support that homo? You support this fucking lesbian bitch over here? You support women? You support this fucking black dude over here? What the fuck are you doing? I've got to deal with all of this because I'm willing to put my ass on the line to help you out. But when I look at my likes, when I look at my shares, my reposts, my comments, I don't see you motherfuckers. I just don't fucking see you motherfuckers because you guys are fucking cowards.
Well, and I think it might also have a lot to do with depending on how big they are. Sponsorships and all that shit, and they're being told what and who they can, what to say, who they can follow, all that shit. Maybe
then
that's
you're part of the problem.
It is.
If you're willing to allow America to fucking just head down the shitter because you don't want to lose a fucking sponsor, you're part of the problem. You shouldn't be bitching about anything at all then. Nothing.
Exactly.
We can talk about sponsors. Well, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, let's look at some of these bigger, political podcasters, influencers, however you want to fucking call them. You like your Man in Americas, your Graham Allens and shit like that. They've taken a hard well, not so much Man in America, but Graham Allen has taken such a hard stance on one end that, that's it. So he's not gonna, somebody like that, he's not gonna turn around because of the sponsorships and the money he's making and where he's at. He's not going to turn around and like something that he may agree with. People like that, they're not going to do that. They're going to get in the DMs and be like this. It's like, stop being a coward.
Have a sack. Pull your balls down and understand you're a fucking man.
Pull your balls out of your wife's purse, your mom's purse, your basement, whatever the fuck you got to do. Just be a fucking man.
Yeah, if you like that's and like when it comes to sponsorships and shit, like people fucking tell me all the time, like, dude, if you just toned it down a little bit, you probably get more sponsors. Bitch, I don't need no fucking sponsors. I will pay for this motherfucker myself and build my own goddamn brands, like I have for the last fucking 7 years. I don't need other fucking people to come in and be like, ooh, we'll, if you just wear this T-shirt, we'll give you 11 cents every time you sell us, you sell one for us for $80. Oh, if you just wear our hats on your podcast, we'll give you $1 every time you sell one for us for 50. I don't need none of that shit. Would I take it if it was offered to me? Sure, why not? If it was lucrative enough for me to put my ass on the line to support that company, because that's the other risk that none of these people out here with all these different little sponsorships that they're worried about losing, they don't fucking think about what happens when that company takes a dive. What happens when that company has a fucking scandal break? What happens when that company does something fucked up, which is almost inevitable in this day and age? What's that going to do to you? You're attached to that now. You just lost half your fucking following because such and such brand just came out that the CEO was buying plastic from Indonesia that kids were making or some shit to make their shoelaces. Something's always going to come out that's going to fuck you. So I don't worry too much about fucking, I got to keep my fucking paycheck so I can keep talking shit. No, I'm not interested in being part of the fucking problem. I'm interested in being part of the fucking solution.
Well, and that's one thing I've always told myself. I don't mind, if somebody came up to me for a sponsorship, fine. It would be something I would look into. But the moment that they say that I have to do certain things, like change how I am and how I approach things, by toning it down or anything like that. I may agree to it for just one day so I can take whatever shirt, hat, whatever, and I'll do an episode and I'll take a shit on it.
Yeah.
Like, there you go, motherfucker.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd go that far, but even me, I don't know if I go that. But like I've shot people down. Like I've had several, like a fucking solid fucking handful of motherfuckers coming up to me and be like, hey, we want you to represent this and that and the other thing, and then you start talking to them because I don't fucking sign nothing. Let's have a conversation first, and you start talking to them, and then they start sliding in like. If you can just pull back over here and I don't know, ease up over there or go a little bit lighter over here. We're done. No, because you know what? I can't sell you anything because all my fans are going to leave because they're expecting me to be me, which is what they've gotten all along until I got a fucking paycheck from you. And now I'm dumbed down. Now I'm light. Now I'm like fucking savagely loud light,
I can never see that. And you'll be doing a disservice to your followers, to your fans by doing stuff like that. And that's something that people need to keep in the back of their head. Are you going to do a disservice to the people that have put that time in, that have been listening to your show, that have been, liking, commenting on your social media posts? Are you willing to do that disservice to them by changing it all up? Because they started following you because of who you are and what you bring to the table. The moment you pull back, it's done.
Yeah, well, and it's not even, it goes further than that. Are you willing to be a part of the demise of this nation that you keep hitting the internet every day whining about fucking the demise of just so you can make a few bucks on a couple of fucking hats or a couple of fucking sweatshirts or a fucking supplement or a protein bar? Like, I'm not willing to do it. Like, if you want to pay me to market your shit and I can still be all the fucking way me, and that's contracted, like I make the fucking calls, then fine. But good luck finding that, because, I mean, I guess I shouldn't say good luck finding that, because the companies are starting to swing around. Like they are really I mean, who would have thought that I would have been able to have the opportunity to turn down multiple sponsors? Like it's, who would have thought that sponsors would be approaching people like me? I'm not that big. I got 140 some thousand on Facebook, 56 or 7,000 on fucking Instagram, and fucking shitty fucking handful everywhere else. Like I don't have much. I'm not that big.
But you're hitting the topics, and we're discussing the things that need to be discussed, and that's why they're hitting you up, because they know it. And they know that what we're doing here, this cultural conversation, they know it's in its infancy stage. And once it's out of its infancy stage, it's going to blow up. Yeah. You're going to have more people. We're on the ground floor now, but eventually the ground floor that we're on, we're going to be on the top floor. And everybody else is going to be coming in after.
People are understanding that we're using hate to build love. Like that sounds stupid when I say it. And people that don't understand it, let me help you out with this. We hate the fact that our country is fucking is in its death rattle. Like America is fucking all but done, and we fucking hate that. And it's all but done for a lot of fucking reasons. The black community has a fucking big problem with violence and theft. The white community is fucking every little kid that tries to walk through a fucking park. We've got Mexicans streaming over the fucking border, just absolutely raping the fuck out of our financial infrastructure. It's coming from every fucking direction, and we fucking hate everything that's taking part. So we're going to use that hate, and we're going to fucking use a production pivot and turn it into something more productive and go to a different direction, hopefully forward, and use that ball of fucking hate on us to start fucking getting loud enough to be heard, to talk about the fucking problems that need to be solved so that they get solved, and then we can all move forward together. Now, whenever I say that, I always say, together is your version of it. Together for me is black city, white city, black city, white city. I don't give a fuck. Everywhere I look, I hear nothing but black people calling for segregation, and I'm fucking done with it. So if for no other reason than that, give black people their own fucking cities, okay? Give white people their own fucking cities. I'm not saying we should have our own drinking fountains, our own fucking parking garages, our own internets, our own social media platforms. I mean, if you want to, fine, but I'm just saying, just like, dude, if we can't get along, like I always say, when toddlers don't get along, you fucking separate them. We're not getting along. We haven't gotten along since the 1950s. So let's just separate, Figure out because what I think would be is great. The greatest thing about if we went to segregation, let's just pipe dream a little for a second here. Mm-hmm. If we went full on segregation, you got Chicago's black, and let's say Madison, Wisconsin is white. Only white, only black. I think it would be a great fucking way to shake down the problems in our own cultures. So white people, you think you're the best. Well, let's all move to Madison and figure out where the problems are, because it's not like there's going to be zero fucking problems. Okay?
There's going to be a lot of problems.
Now we've only got white people to look at. You guys all said you're the fucking best. Why are there so many fucking problems? Okay, now we got to come to a table. We got to discuss these problems. Look down at Chicago. Well, black people, I thought you were the best motherfuckers on earth. I thought if we gave you your own city, you'd build a utopia. But it seems like there's only about 1,100 motherfuckers left in that because the rest of you killed each other. So we gonna have to fucking talk about this shit. Cultural commentation using hate to build love is the only fucking way. It's called a bottom-up approach, okay? We start at the bottom. We start in our primal nature. We start on our tribalistic senses. I am for my team. You are for your team. Let's talk about if we can coexist. It seems as though we can coexist. It doesn't seem as though we can be friends just yet. So how do we move to that next step? If coexistence in America looks like it does now and makes America look like it does now, which is shit. Everybody wants to say it's the greatest country on earth, which it is. It's still in a state of disarray. It's disarray. It's still in a state of being fucked. So if all of this coexistence makes America look like this, what could we do if we just started blossoming friendships? If we kind of became friendly, okay? Not friends with an S, but friendly with an L-Y. If we just became friendly, what could that make America look like then? I would imagine it would improve the thing greatly. I would imagine everywhere you looked in America, if we just started being friendly enough to coexist and not hurt each other and not want to hate each other and not want to kill each other, again, not sleeping over at each other's houses watching Christmas movies, we're just looking to coexist and not fucking have all the violence and all the theft and all the ridicule and all the fucking turmoil. We don't want that. I'll bet you this place would be a fucking utopia inside of 5 years.
I would have to agree with you on that. I really would. I mean, but realistically, would that happen? Probably not.
No, but I think it could, because you know what? We've got so many awakenings happening right now. And that's not even the awakening. I'm talking awakenings. Like, we've got the JQ that people everywhere are seemingly beaten to fucking death after how many decades of people fucking shouting this from the rooftop that this was an issue. Now that it's easy, people are talking about it. And that's, that's another fucking issue all in itself. We have to stop talking about things when it's easy. It's easy to talk about Jews right now. So everybody's doing it. It's easy to talk about politics right now so everybody's doing it. It's still very difficult for a white guy to say, hey, the black community fucking sucks. We need to start talking about the shit that is hard to talk about.
Yeah, no, it is. It's hard for, white people to actually do that because the fear is still going to be there. The fear is going to be there if I say this, I'm going to be a racist. What happens if this gets out to where I work at, other people I know? You got to cut the fear out of it. I mean, you got to be willing to have to bring that stuff up and talk about it, because that's a fucking issue. That is a problem. And I do it. You do it. So many other people do it. And, it's risks that we have to take, that we're willing to take to make things right, to make things better. And we just got to continue that fight.
Yeah. That goes back to the only reason it's getting any better is because we're doing this. It's the opposite of politics, honestly. For 43 years, we've had hundreds of millions of fucking people whining about the American political system, and it's not gotten any better, only gotten worse. But now that we've seen this new emergence of cultural commentation or commentators, especially the ones like me, incendiary cultural commentators, we're seeing actual positive changes. So just a year ago, the fatherless house rate in fucking inner city Chicago, or inner cities for black community, was 74% of the households. 74% of black households in the inner city had no father in the home. Now as of the fucking, I think 3 days ago or 4 days ago, when I looked at the last statistics and I kind of averaged them together, because everywhere you go, it's a little different. It's about 69.7%. So what's happening now, what you're seeing is cultural commentators coming out and forcing the fucking hand of accountability to hold down everybody that deserves to be held down by the hand of accountability. And they're not liking it. That's what accountability is all about. Is I say some shit, it makes your emotional system erupt with anger and resentment, and then this and that and the other thing happens, and next thing you know, you're thinking about it, then you're really analyzing it, then you're rabbit holing, and then you're changing it, because you will have then found out by yourself on your own recognizance that you have fucked this up, and you've been a member of an ailing party or an ailing culture for too long.
Yeah. And well, I mean, let's just be honest. I mean, they don't want to have accountability. I mean, if it has to be forced accountability, then that's what it has to be. You know,
it does have to be forced accountability now.
But I will have to say, I mean, if the percentages actually come down now, what, you know, like you were just saying, I mean, that is, I mean, even though it's small, it's still positive. It's going in the right direction,
because it's only ever gone the other direction all since this whole time. So now we've got a reversal. How much shit would change in this? Everybody fucking knows this. I know all you stupid fucking women out there, and I don't mean all women are stupid. I mean the stupid women out there are going to say that, we don't need men. It's statistical fact. Any fucking psychologist, psychiatrist, therapist, any doctor, any PhD out there, anybody will fucking tell you that a person that grows up without a father in the home is way more likely to be a fucked pile of shit later on in life and fuck up his society or her society than one that grew up with a father. So if we got our biggest problem, and as far as violence and crime in America, is the black community. At 70% of our violent crime is perpetrated by the black community. If we've got more and more and more of those black men that are perpetrating these crimes having fathers in the home, what is that going to do to the American culture? What is that going to do to the American population, the American country? It's going to reverse course on its crime. It's going to reverse course on its absolute fucking dangerous, filthy shitholes that we know all across this country, because there's going to be more fathers instilling in their fucking boys how to be men and fix this shit.
Right. Well, and I think having the father there, but the father also has to be present in the kids' lives. You know, he can't just be there, just taking up a seat. The father needs to be present. You know, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'll take 5 people I knew that didn't have fathers when I was growing up in school. Out of those 5 people, not one of them didn't end up in jail, drug addicted or something, because that father was not there.
Right.
You know, mom was out working all the time. Mom had to go fucking work 2 jobs to fucking put food on the table, pay the bills and all that stuff, because dad wasn't there. Dad wasn't giving, you know, child support, nothing like that. Those kids ended up like literally in fucking time and time again, in and out of jail, prison, they just amounted to shit, you know? And it's like, it's a fact.
It starts at home. Fact. Yes. It is a fucking fact that people that grow up without a fucking father in the home are way more likely to become shitbags and be fucked up mentally for their entire fucking lives. So if we can get more black fathers in the home, take part in their fucking lives, even just getting them to stick around. I mean, I'll be honest with you guys. 74% of you motherfuckers running out on your kids. That's nothing that I'm not even going to pretend to care about your feelings about this. This is a despicable pile of shit that I'm looking at, and you need to fix this. This isn't up to anybody but the black community, black men specifically, to fix this fucking issue. I guess we could bring black women into it, because I see you fucking assholes too. Most black women that I see are fucking, they're not something you want to deal with. Like, you just don't want to fucking deal with it. You know, here's a great story. So I used to drive Uber, and several times I had to kick people out of my fucking car and they were every fucking single time. It was black people, black women specifically. So what would happen is, when I was driving Uber, I don't do it anymore because it's too fucking dangerous and I don't want to have to shoot people in my own car. So when I was driving Uber, if you got just under halfway to your destination, you could cancel the ride and get your money back. Well, that's what these black women would do. That we'd get just under halfway to wherever I was supposed to take them, and they'd cancel the ride. They'd get their money back and then expect me to keep driving. They would berate and belittle and fucking demean me like I was the world's biggest piece of shit. Because I don't fucking care. I literally pulled over on the side of the fucking 4-lane road and make them get the fuck out of my car. I do not give a fuck. And I saw that happen the other day. I knew exactly what it was. And I fucked because I pulled out, I was coming through the back way of the neighborhood through my house. And I turned right on this one road, and I was like, fucking, had to stop immediately. And this black woman was getting out of the back of this fucking Kia, slamming the door, fucking slapping the fucking side of the car, pissing and moaning, swearing up and down at this bitch at this fucking driving this fucking Kia. I knew exactly what it was. Bitch canceled her ride. I knew exactly what it was. So what did I do? As she's standing in the middle of the road screaming, I was like, canceled the ride again, huh? And she goes, fuck you, white boy, fuck you. And she goes to throw like this. She went like this. She had her phone in her hand. I was like, you ain't going to throw that phone because you can't afford another one. Gotta love the ghetto as I fucking just pull off slowly. Yeah, I knew exactly what the fuck had happened. Like, it's this shit that is the reasons that we're done pretending like we give a fuck about your feelings. We don't. We don't give a fuck about your feelings. We give a fuck about our country. You're more than welcome to stay if you're a productive member of this bitch. But if you keep making this motherfucker go downhill, we want you gone. That's just the plain and simple of it. But when we say things like that, that turns off the political commentators. That turns off our greatest ally. Our greatest ally as cultural commentators is not Israel. It's fucking political commentators, because they're the watchdogs of the political system. If we could get the cultural commentators and the political commentators to not coalesce and become the same thing, but to join forces, to have the political commentators fucking support the cultural commentators as much as the cultural commentators support the political commentators, this world would turn around very, very quickly, because a lot of these political commentators hold a lot more weight than the fucking cultural commentators, because this is still new. This is still in the infancy of actually people fucking coming out on the internet and not only saying, hey, I'm proud to be white, but I'm also pissed off at your culture because it sucks, you know? These political commentators, they hold a lot more weight. So if they would start supporting the cultural commentators much more than they do now, the cultural commentation would grow and grow and grow, and we could we could snowball this motherfucker and get these changes to happen faster. But because we've got these political commentators that are afraid to get the label, afraid to get attached to him through the eyes of their following, I don't know what we're going to do, because we need, as cultural commentators, we need the political commentators to back us up. And as cultural commentators, we're about done backing up the political commentators, because the longer that they don't back us up, for you guys, if you're listening, the longer you don't back up cultural commentators, the more likely it is we're going to stop fucking backing you up altogether. And not only are we going to stop backing you up altogether, not out of spite, but we're going to access that part of our brain that makes us believe that you literally and legitimately are only political commentating for the clicks. We're going to get into that mindset where you're only doing this to get the clicks, to get the points, to get the views, so you can get the paycheck. And whatever your fucking party says, that's the line you're going to toe. Whatever your fucking party says is the narrative, that's the one you're going to push. And that makes you the enemy of this country. And you don't want to be the enemy of the fucking country in the eyes of the people that have the biggest balls in this fucking country and are willing to take the most fucking bullets to fix it. I promise you, you do not want to be the fucking next target of cultural commentators. We've got bigger balls than you do. We've taken more arrows than you have. We've taken more bullets than you have. We consistently take bigger and better and badder fucking beatings than you take. Fuck with us. Try that. Or we can work together. You can put away your fucking ego. You can put away your fucking bitch-made spine that curves every fucking time somebody looks at it crooked, and you can start supporting the motherfuckers that are your greatest fucking ally.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't see that happening. You know what I'm saying? I think it's going to take us to put that bullseye on them and call them out on their shit before they finally wake up and realize it. Because,
yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. I mean, yeah, you can talk all the politics you want. You can be on whatever side that you want to be on. But with what we do, eventually we're going to surpass what you guys are doing now.
Yeah,
and
because
it's only a matter of time.
Because what we do is true identity. And that's what I want you political commentators to understand. And that's a great point that you just brought up there, Dave. I want you political commentators to understand that we are going to fucking win. Politics, that's not going anywhere, and it's not getting any better, and everybody knows it. Culture's getting better, already getting better. Within a year of real cultural commentation coming out, it's already getting better. So we're going to fucking win. And by the time we get down the path far enough to have been the winners, we're going to be so fucking bulletproof, you can't fucking touch us. And we're not going to want you anywhere in our circle because you didn't back us up on the way to get here. You didn't back us up in the fucking war that we had to fight every single day to get America back to a place of positivity. Because we deal in identity. You deal in false identity. Your political beliefs, that shit ain't real.
No.
Most people believe in fucking this and that and this. They believe a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little bit of that and a little bit of this. They believe things from both sides. So you're really just preaching to a very, very small demographic of people anyway. And most of the political commentators I know, they get the likes and the clicks when they say something people like. When they don't say something that, people like, they just get nothing. I get something all the fucking time. Like all the fucking time, And I don't have nearly the fans that some of these motherfuckers got. But the thing is when it comes to identity, we're done being told what we are supposed to believe it is. For fucking decades, we have been taught and programmed and told to believe that our identity comes from our voting habits. It's over. It's fucking over. You know why it's over? Because the whole time we were being programmed to believe that our identities came from our voting habits. We now have come to understand that it was only white people, because you were trying to erase our identities. The whole fucking time I've been alive, you've been patting black people on the head for saying fuck white people. You've been patting brown people on the head for saying fuck white people. You've been patting fucking Jews, Muslims, fucking all monks, Asians, all these motherfuckers on the head for saying fuck white people, but you've been saying fuck white people when we ask a question about why that's okay. That's over. Now, white people are starting to find their true identity. It's this thing called white dormancy. And what white dormancy is basically this theory. I forgot who came up with it, but it has happened all throughout history. At a certain point, white people become the most hated people and the most shunned people and the most walked on people. And they allow that. And up front, they arbitrarily fucking welcome it in because they believe they're the privileged ones. Well, then they get to a point where their back is against the fucking wall. And that is when we get things like fucking World War II. That's when we get things like fucking, these gigantic war campaigns that kill tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or millions of fucking people, because white people we reach a point where we're no longer dormant. We stay sleeping for so fucking long, but once you wake us up, we kill everybody. We rape and pillage and fucking burn everything to the ground because fuck you. You had it because of us, and you've tried to fuck us out of it. And then we were real nice, and you kept pushing, and now you push too goddamn long. That's what's going to happen. And it's happening now. White dormancy is going away. That's why we're seeing 15-year-old white girls on the internet talking shit about how great it is to be white. And they're actually providing actual ancestral information and data and criteria to back that up. We have never been in a time like we are now with white people in my lifetime. White dormancy is fucking over. The white monster, the white bear, the white fucking whatever you want to call it is fucking waking up. I like to call it the big white war machine because we are really fucking good at one fucking thing, and that is decimation. We will fucking conquer anything, and it's been proven over and over and over and over and over again throughout history. But instead, this is my big message all the time, but instead of getting to the point where white people have to fucking pull ourselves out of our fucking dormancy and then decimate everybody around us, why not work together now? Why not have the conversation now to maybe stop all the killing, to maybe stop the big white war machine from fucking just roving over every single land on this earth and proving the fucking point that everybody said we wouldn't prove? Why not have the conversation on how we can actually coexist? I mean, after all, I know so many fucking Christian people that are always whining and crying and pissing and moaning about how we're supposed to love each other, but don't nobody love nobody. So where the fuck are you, Christians? Where the fuck are you? Let's back us up. Why don't you Christian fucking political commentators come back us up, back our cultural commentators up, and then we can really be fucking children of God, because then we'll actually be addressing the fucking problems that have to do with our true identities and trying to figure out that problem from fucking doing what it's done all the time. What are we on? 11, 12, 13th extinction event now we're in the midst of, and most of them were created by ourselves. Like, we've killed off ourselves. So how about we all just have the conversation and stop that?
That would be too easy. And I don't think they're ready for that. You know, and plus, yeah, I feel especially with, and I don't want to single out Christians, but Christians have a bigger problem that they need to figure out, and that's in their own religion right now.
Well, no Christian seems to know what they actually believe. Like, and I know, well, again, I'm going to take a lot of fire for that, but it's not what I mean. It like when I see the Jews, they're obeying their book. Right. To our dismay, they're obeying their book. Oh, yeah. When I see the Muslims, they're obeying their book, to our dismay. But when I see the Christians, I hear a lot of things in the book. I know a lot of things in the book, or some things from the book, and nobody seems to abide by those, because Christians seem to be the one. And this is a reality a lot of you are gonna have to accept. Christians seems to be the only ones that cherry pick what to believe in and what they don't want to believe in. If it fits in my life, I'll believe in it. If it doesn't fit in my life, I'm not going to believe in it.
Well, and then they start to believe it when the narrative is spinning that way. Like, love thy neighbor. They only start to love thy neighbor when that narrative is spinning, especially when it comes to immigrants coming over. Stuff like that. Then now we got to love them. Well, where were you last year? It's the same concept. Where was love thy neighbor then? Now all of a sudden love thy neighbor's here because of what you're hearing. It's like it.
Why aren't you welcoming these motherfuckers into your home if it's love thy neighbor? If you're supposed to love your enemies, why aren't you bringing in all these motherfuckers and being like, yeah, you can stay in my daughter's room?
Yeah, because that's going to fucking go well.
I mean, is that not like what we're looking at? We got all these fucking white women on here all fucking saying, oh, bring the Muslims, bring the Muslims, bring the Muslims, Sharia law, Sharia law, Sharia law. But I don't see not a single one of you bitches bringing these Muslims to your house and saying, yeah, you can sleep in my daughter's room.
Yeah. Or even just bringing them into your house and giving them the couch to sleep on, or hey, have them over for some fucking food. Yeah. Oh, by the way, if you want Sharia law, I mean, you might have to ask permission to leave your house. I mean, everything that the women have fought for decades will be gone.
Everything. Not only gone, but complete opposite. Just like overnight. When you say gone, they automatically think like, oh, well, we might not get to vote in all the elections. No, we're going to beat the fuck out of you. If when you say gone, like, oh, we might not be able to drive our own cars. No, we're going to beat the fuck out of you. Like, we might not be able to go into public without our burqas on. No, we're going to beat the fuck out of you. That's what Sharia law is. Everything a woman does that pisses off a man, we beat the fuck out of you. And you can't do anything about it. But you bitches are welcoming this shit in.
Oh, wait, you have a 9-year-old daughter? Well, she's being sold to this guy to marry.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they don't fucking think about these things. It's just...
Well, and this is all great shit that ties in exactly to the whole political rift with the rift with the political commentators and the cultural commentators, because the political commentators, I think, are in a fucking between a rock and a hard place now. I don't know if you ever heard that term, but it's like you just can't move, because if they go this way, they're going to have to back up the cultural commentators because it's over the ledge. And if they go this way, they're going to be called a cultural commentator because it's over the ledge. So we've got these political commentators that are just, they try to stay in their little bubble, but their little bubble is being popped by a million needles called Muslims, called Jews, called blacks, called Asians, called Mexicans, called fucking Middle Easterners, called fucking everybody. They are just poking, and it's only a matter of time. Political commentators, it's only going to be a matter of time before even you have to fucking admit reality, and you're just going to become a cultural commentator. And when that day comes, you better hope I'm not on top of the fucking list, because I'm going to make it very difficult for you if you don't open your fucking eyes now. Because the way it looks now is if you won't support the people that are trying to fix the problem, you're part of the problem.
Exactly. The clock is ticking. It's time to make your choice. Essentially, let's just call it for what it is. The clock is ticking. Tick, 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 motherfuckers. Start showing some love to the cultural commentators, or it's going to be over for you guys.
Well, and the funny thing is like you always hear it no more than, and dude, the most out of any fucking commentator of anything, food reviews, fucking school reviews, anything, car reviews, anything. The people that say I'm not here for followers, the most are political commentators. Yet, when it comes down to fucking needing the political commentators to fucking risk their following to help out the cultural commentators that are making things actually fucking happen for the positive, they're like, all of a sudden, I can't do that, man. I can't do that. I can't. I'll lose my following. But I thought you weren't here for the followers.
Right. Yeah, you're not here for the followers, my ass.
Yeah.
You're here for the clicks. You're here for the likes. You're here for the fucking people commenting. You're here for the views. Let's call a spade a fucking spade. That's what you're here to do. If it would be like us saying that we're not here for the followers, we're not here for the clicks, we're not here for the views and all that shit. We're here for that because what we're putting out there is going to make a difference. It's going to create those conversations. It's going to break the barriers, break the walls down. So we can admit it that we're here for that. Whereas these guys are like, and I can say this with certainty because when I first started off as political, I always said, I'm not here for the followers. I'm not here for this. I'm not here for that, because I had that in my head because that's what
sounds good.
I thought. Yeah, that's what I thought. If I can reach one fucking person, that's all that matters to me. No, I need to reach more than just one person. I need to reach millions of people to get the fucking word out. And the moment you can actually fucking admit to that, maybe then you can start to see things where we're coming from.
Right. Exactly. And where I'm coming from, we can start spinning this thing around and wrap it up. Where I'm coming from with this is political commentators. I would implore you to abide by your own fucking standards, by your own words. You're not here for the followers, so then risk them. Start standing up for the cultural commentators because the cultural commentators are statistically the only ones creating big change. You are very important as a political commentator. I'm not going to take that away from you because although you're not creating change, you're stopping a lot of negative change. I understand that. We need you, but you need us too because the cultural commentators are fucking winning. There's a reason that more and more and more cultural commentators are becoming bigger and bigger and bigger than these political commentators ever were. And it's because people in general, all the way across the fucking nation, are done with the bullshit. All the way across the globe are done with the bullshit. We no longer give a fuck about politics. We know every single politician from everywhere, from the local fucking judge to Donald fucking Trump, is here to fuck us in the ass. We need to fix ourselves. We need to look inward and be introspective and see what we can do within each one of us to unfuck this situation. And that would be a lot fucking easier if the cultural commentators got a lot more fucking support from the political commentators.
Yeah, it would be so much easier. It would be so much nicer.
Yep. Well, that all being said, guys, if you want to help me out, get these words out, get these truths out, you can follow me on fucking Instagram. Savagely Loud is where I'm most active. You're going to find 2 links on that page. One of those links is to the Savagely Loud podcast page. Please follow me there, too. The other link you're going to find is a link tree. Anywhere you want to hear my bullshit, see my rants, you can find it there. Outside of that, Facebook, X, Rumble. You can find me at Savagely Loud at Savagely Loud. YouTube, it's Savagely Loud Podcast and savagelyloud@gmail.com. Please email me in if you want to guarantee I see your communication. You'll notice I left out Substack this time because I'm going to be doing something different with my Substack. I'm moving directions. That is going to go to, I'm going to be doing more of my personal development shit. So that is going to be getting done through the I can't talk anymore. Through the
I know, you
Becoming
can't talk
Decent
today for some
show.
reason.
Yeah, so that's all. My Substack's going to all be gone through Becoming Decent. So we'll get to that later. Don't forget to like, comment, share the material. It really does help us out. Rate, review the show. Please, please, please. Spotify, iTunes, rate the show. It doesn't take anything to rate the fucking show. No. It doesn't take anything to give me a 5-star rating. Let's get us out there. That being said, Dave, let them know where they can find you one last time.
All right, y'all can find me over there, heavily active on Instagram and Facebook at The Hammer Drops. Obviously, come January, you'll find me here on Savagely Loud on the regular full-time co-host. You can also go check me out over on the website at thehammerdrops.com, where I have a whole slew of everything. So you'll get the videos, you get the podcast, you'll get blogs, you'll get whatever you want is going to be there as well. But don't forget to like, follow, share, and leave a review. Like Cliff was saying, just leave a 5-star. It definitely helps out as much as you may think it doesn't. It does, and it takes literally 2 seconds, if that.
Yeah. All right, guys. You know what time it is. We've been down in the sticky. We've done the yelling. We've done the anger. We've done the resentment. We've done the call to action. And now it's time to do the part where we remind ourselves that humans actually exist inside of humanity with a little segment I like to call Hopelessly Human. And it starts a little bit like...
People can be really rough. They can be quite tough. They can get in the way, but at the end of the day, some aren't only stupid, some are hopelessly human.
Yes, they are. Some are hopelessly human, and this one is no different. This Hopelessly Human comes to you from a site called brightside.me. It's titled, Single Mom Caught Stealing a Blue Pen. I defended a single mom caught stealing a blue pen. She had promised it for her son's birthday, but couldn't afford it. In court, I convinced the judge to let her go because she was just a mother keeping a promise. Can you believe she went to fucking court over a fucking blue pen? This is unreal. But
what?
And I did look into this. It is a real story. 25 years later, I ran my own law firm. One day, I was set to interview a new employee. He walked in, smiled, and shook my hand. But I was stunned when I suddenly pulled a blue pen from his when he suddenly pulled a blue pen from his pocket and placed it on my desk. I froze, staring at the pen. 25 years ago, my mom stole a blue pen, and you saved her. Suddenly, all the memories came rushing back. The courtroom, the little boy, his tear-filled eyes as I fought for his mother. I looked up and saw his smile. I keep it as a reminder that one day I wanted to be like you. The little boy had grown into an exceptional man and prominent young lawyer, and of course, he got the job. Later that week, he invited me to dinner with him and his mother, and we had the most heartfelt reunion. Guys, this is a good lesson in every single thing you do, even if it's a little fucking thing like helping somebody through a fucking court battle of stealing a blue pen that most likely not a lot it's going to help from. It will leave a lasting effect. Every single thing you do helps or hurts somebody. So help them out. And that's the end of the fucking show. I totally missed the fucking button. I lost where I was at. Later, guys.